Welcome back to Pursuit of Prey. Today we're going to be continuing some food series we've got going on, and we're going to be talking about how to make cream cheese and bacon stuffed and wrapped backstrap. So what you're going to need is you're going to need one backstrap. In this case I'm using kind of a small venison backstrap. I'm going to need some all-purpose garlic-based seasoning, a barbecue rub, pretty significant amount of parsley, some General bacon. Do not get the thick cut, either the thin or the standard cut. Some cooking oil. In this case, it's going to be avocado oil due to its high smoke point. Just some plain cream cheese, some toothpicks, a knife, a way to mix it, and then a way to heat up your bacon. So first thing we're going to do is go ahead and crisp about 5 to 6 pieces of bacon. So I'll go do that, and I'll be back with you in just a minute. All right, so I got my pan heating up there. I'm gonna add a touch of this avocado oil and start cooking the bacon. You want it to be on the crispier side, enough where you're gonna be able to kind of crumble it up later. Bacon is getting pretty well good and crispy here. You do not want to get rid of the grease that's in this pan. We're going to be using that here a little bit later. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it here. Let us finish cooking in the pan as we go ahead and go through the rest of the cooking process. All right, we got our crispy bacon. I'm going to go ahead and pull this off the pan. Set it out on the cutting board. And then we're going to add our cream cheese into our mixing bowl. You don't need a fancy mixing bowl to do this. You can do it with any old bowl and a spoon. And then on top of that, we are going to dump the bacon grease. And this bacon grease should start to melt the cream cheese, and it'll give it a real nice blend there. So as I get that start to going, I'm going to add a significant amount of parsley. Significant is up to you. I like it a little on the heavier side. There we go, about that for a nice little small backstrap. And we're gonna mix that up thoroughly. So while that's mixing, keep letting our bacon dry a little bit there. We are going to butterfly the backstrap. So we're gonna cut it right down the side, maybe go almost to the end there. And we're just going to cut it so we can lay it wide open. Now this is a pretty small backstrap. This will probably serve 4 people, which is what I was looking to do today. But I like to do this as a Christmas meal and a large backstrap, especially an elk, a moose, something of that nature. Feed a whole congregation if you wanted to. All right, so I'm cutting it through there, just trying to get as nice even cut as I can, all the way to the end. And then as I open it up, take that knife and just cut it a little bit further. Not a big deal if you go through it. You'd rather not, but won't affect the taste at all. And you can feel, yeah, I'm about an 1/8 of an inch or so there from the other side. All right, so we got our backstrap butterfly. We're gonna take our cool down bacon here and just crunch it up. So on the crispy side, and then we're gonna add that to our cream cheese bacon grease mixture. Give it one more mix. So while that's mixing, take our cooking oil Get the inside, rub it down good. And we're going to use a garlic-based seasoning. In this case, I'm using some all-purpose seasoning from Jack Stack Barbecue. Seasoned to taste, I would say. That is up to you. I have in the past added garlic powder. You do not want to add garlic salt. That with the seasoning gets to be a little much. All right, that'll do it. All right, so I'm going to take this mixture, which should by now, due to the heat from that bacon grease, be pretty well melted, and I'm just going to lay it haphazardly inside of my backstrap. After doing this a couple times, you get a feel for about how much cream cheese to buy to make it fit just right in there. I always err on the side of more. Not a big deal if it oozes out. All right, set that aside. Perfect. So we're going to want to close this up. Trying to keep as much of it in there as possible. Right, now that it's closed up, again, we are going to oil the outside and add a little more of that garlic-based seasoning. And then keeping that backstrap portion up, flip it over, do the same. Be generous with the oil. All right, now we're gonna get to wrapping our bacon. A lot of different ways to do this. Some people get real fancy with it. I'm certainly on the side of simplicity. And I don't need a fancy checkerboard, but what I do is I use a lot of toothpicks to hold it in place. So as you're moving this from the refrigerator to the grill and that sort of thing later, just being able to keep it in one spot really ends up being beneficial. And I'll try and put these toothpicks through it where it'll hit the end of one and the start of another. They can be a little bit difficult to find once you're done, so make sure you get them all out once you're done. And now we should be able to pretty well move this thing around without it coming off. Again, we're going to cover it in significant amounts of oil and throw some seasoning on it this time. We're going to use just a barbecue seasoning. This is the President's Choice, Arthur Bryant's, and it's going to add some of that caramel color to the bacon and really bring out the flavor. Flipping it over. Now it's time to, some of that cream cheese up there on top. Time to put it in the refrigerator and let that cream cheese harden back up before we go to the grill. All right, now that it's closed up, again, we are going to oil the outside and add a little more of that garlic-based seasoning. And then keeping that backstrap portion up. Flip it over, do the same. Be generous with the oil. All right, now we're gonna get to wrapping our bacon. A lot of different ways to do this. Some people get real fancy with it. I'm certainly on the side of simplicity. And I don't need a fancy checkerboard, but what I do is I use a lot of toothpicks to hold it in place. So as you're moving this from the refrigerator to the grill and that sort of thing later, just being able to keep it in one spot really ends up being beneficial. And I'll try and put these toothpicks through it where it'll hit the end of one and the start of another. They can be a little bit difficult to find once you're done, so make sure you get them all out once you're done. Now we should be able to pretty well move this thing around without it coming off. Again, we're going to cover it in significant amounts of oil and throw some seasoning on it this time. We're going to use just a barbecue seasoning. This is the President's Choice, Arthur Bryant's, and it's going to add some of that caramel color to the bacon and really bring out the flavor. Flipping it over. Now it's time to, some of that cream cheese up there on top. Time to put it in the refrigerator and let that cream cheese harden back up before we go to the grill. So we got the smoker heated up to 350. We're gonna go ahead and put this on there. So it should take about 30 minutes. I'm gonna put some internal temperatures in there. You wanna keep it on the smoker until it has an internal temperature of 130 degrees. So this is going to be messy, however. A lot of this cream cheese is going to melt and come out of here. Throw your temperature probes as best you can right in the center. And you want that bacon on the outside to be as crispy as possible. All right, there it is. It's set. We'll come back when it's 130. All right, so we hit 130 degrees. Come out and check it. It's looking pretty good. You really tell where that cream cheese on top's got nice and that golden brown to it. The bacon's done. It's never going to be crispy on the outside like it is if you fry it, but that fats have soaked into it. So since it's 130 on the thermometers, we're going to go ahead and pull it. We're going to let it rest about 10 minutes. Now pulling it off can get pretty messy with this melted cream cheese in there. I like to use these gloves. There we go, look at that. So there it is. We'll let it rest 10 minutes and then see how it cuts. All right, so this has been going about 10 minutes here, been sitting and resting. Let's cut into it and see how it looks. Oh, there you go. Oh, that looks good. So that's about what it should look like when you're done. So it's not gonna be crispy bacon on the outside, but that fat has all rendered down into your venison. You got your cream cheese in the middle. Looks excellent. So thanks for watching my video. Be sure and like and subscribe to Pursuit of Prey. I got a whole section on different cooking issues, and then I got a bunch more that's going to be regards to hunting, preparing wild game, how you care for it after you take your game, and then getting yourself into the field. So if you have any questions on what I did here, leave a question in the comments. I'll be sure to answer you, and then I'll also go ahead and post the recipe in the description down below. Thank you.